Well, some big news has come out this week, and I gotta tell you, this is important, man. Oh my lord! And this kind of this really hits home, real close to home for me here. Oh man, President Trump says he's going to potentially use executive action to ban TikTok. Now, for all of you who said, "Oh, he's BSing us," how does that hit home for him? You don't have to live with my wife. Okay, my wife, for whatever reason, loves TikTok. Now, I've never got on this thing once. I kind of have a grasp of what it is. Don't use it, don't watch it, but my wife's in love with this thing, and so this is really gonna, bother her. Matter of fact, it already has, because she's already heard about it, and I've gotten plenty of an earful on that one already. How upset she's going to be if TikTok goes bye-bye. Now, what's the big reason for why TikTok could be going away? Well, this is what they say. And I have no reason to doubt this, by the way, okay? I'm just saying that this has been the argument made here, okay? The company that owns TikTok, I forget the exact name of the company, but this company is pretty much owned by the Chinese Communist Party. And the research that I've done shows that if you've got big corporations in China, the Chinese Communist Party may not own the corporation, but they get figures from the Chinese Communist Party involved into those companies. So, real quick, I'll divert to a video that I was in on Friday night where some folks were saying, "Oh, China doesn't do this, China doesn't do that, and they're really not that different." And of course, I made the argument, yeah, they are, and they do deny a lot of freedoms that you would get here in the United States. If they have their version of it, you probably don't get as much freedom from it. Okay, so one thing you don't have here is a Democrat or Republican Party getting involved into your company so that they can have a control in it and how it potentially interacts with the rest of the world, which really does sound like what the Chinese are up to. Some folks would probably deny that. Some folks would probably say that there's nothing to it. Me, on the other hand, I find it very ironic that if they're involved with a company that millions of people have downloaded, and I don't know what you have to put into TikTok, but they're gathering your personal information. And clearly they've been able to obtain a lot of that personal information because they've been able to send out these weird, mysterious seeds to people. Now, one thing that I've noticed, of course, am I going to say they won't turn up at my house? I don't know if this has a direct correlation to TikTok. I just find this kind of coincidental, right? That they've gotten your information from somewhere, your address, to send you these seeds. Now, they still haven't 100% yet confirmed this is the Chinese government sending these seeds out, but it does appear that they're coming from China, okay? Nonetheless, they've warned people, do not plant them, do not throw them in the trash, we don't know what these things are, please turn them into the Department of Agriculture if you receive them. One thing I've noticed is that I actually know people who've gotten these things in the mail. I physically seen them, okay? But I have not received any at my house yet, and I hope I don't, for that matter, because who knows what in the hell these things are. Nonetheless, the big concerns are that the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party, is using this as spyware and a spying tool to spy on what the world is doing. Now, am I going to personally be that upset if TikTok is banned? No. Turns out we're not actually going to be the only country to be doing so. I believe India's already banned it. Certain European countries, I believe, have already banned TikTok. Perhaps because they have a lot of these same concerns, right? Perhaps they don't like the fact that this thing has pretty much ownership of from China, and they could be spying on the people in the country. So the app itself monitors what you do on the app, right? It's going to monitor your patterns, your activities. If you paste anything, it can get that. But just like every other app, it's going to potentially be able to access your camera and your microphone. And naturally, it has to be able to access those things, by the way, because that's how you post, you making videos. Therefore, to use this app properly, unless you never want to post anything at all, and some people may not. Some people, like my wife, for example, would just rather watch things on the app than post things on the app. So, with that being said, if you're going to post, you're going to have access to your camera and your microphone, which means at any given time, they could also be turning this thing on to listen to you or see what you're up to. Isn't that a lovely thought to have in your head? What's the problem, though? Okay, all face value, this sounds like legit concerns for security issue at home, right? So yeah, we should ban it, but there's a problem. There's a problem. What's wrong here? The very thing that we're complaining about with the security issue are things that Snowden exposed. Things like Julian Assange exposed that our own government is doing to us. Let me make sense. Let me make sense of this. We will violate our own countries, we being the government here, okay, the CIA, the deep state. We will violate our people's Fourth Amendment right. We will use the NSA to spy on folks. We will use the Patriot Act to spy on folks, okay? We're going to spy on our own people. And again, Snowden exposes how easy it is for them to tap into the things that you use today and hack into them, your cell phone, all these different things. So we're already getting spied on by who knows how many different people as it is already. And one of those entities, without a doubt, is our own government. And it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. They're both going to spy on you. Because again, the parties aren't that divided like you really think they are. They divide themselves at face value for political reasons to play a show for the rest of the country, to play theater for the rest of the country, so that people think that they've actually got two choices. No, they argue with each other. First of all, you have more than two choices, by the way. Joe Jorgensen 2020. Okay. That being said, you've got the options, but they want you to think you've got the two options and that these two options are standing in stark contrast to each other. When it comes for the debate stage, sure, they'll be in stark contrast of each other. When it comes time to go on the news, they're in stark contrast to each other. But when it comes time to screw the middle class, help the rich elites, or spy on their own people, they're one and the same, and they have been for a very long time. And this is just another example. So understand, they want to ban an app that is doing to the people already what they are already doing to the people. So what's the problem? What's the fact it's being done by the Chinese? Oh. Now, am I defending it and saying that China should be allowed to get away with it? Absolutely not. I don't want the Chinese spying on me. I don't want the Chinese spying on this country. But President Trump and the rest of the federal government, you don't like the Chinese spying on us. I would say the majority of the country would agree with that. We also don't like you spying on us and violating our Bill of Rights. So, as we love to say around my neck of the woods, practice what you preach. Stop the spying altogether. Because this argument that only your own government is good enough to spy on you is just absolute bullshit. No one should be spying on us.